guys. GMB Pros, welcome. Thank you everybody for your support. You know, we got our fans here, our supporters. I appreciate those that are watching the replay. Thank you for supporting us. You know, try to make it on the live. I try to set up different time zones, different times, so we can cover everybody. So I appreciate you guys. You guys know what our goal is for GMB Pros is to give you guys actionable stuff that two things. One, that you can grow your agency, or two, you can go out and help your clients grow their business. And these are about 60-minute guys, so we want to make them punchy. We want to turn them into more of a class or topic, so we can like show you and you guys can do it, and then we'll open up like a Q&A session here. So guys, that's our goal with GMB Pros, to help you or your customers grow, so you can you know, help. The more people you help, the more bottom line, you know, the more you can reach that 7-figure agency status, right? And help you in whatever niche you have. You know, you have good, faithful Henry here, one of our instructors every other week with Chris Palmer, you know, with GMBs, like today, a little bit of backlinking. You know, we have, you know, big people, different people. Dennis is here supporting us. He's part of the family. Love it. You know, I just talked to him. We'll hopefully get him on to talk about Facebook and ads in general, how to optimize it, right? Because those are the 4 boxes we want to play with, right? GMB, website, ads, and then the other one is like customer service, email marketing, and whatnot. So I can't wait to have Dennis to come on and show some nuggets, some actionable stuff here for us. So much love, much appreciated for everybody here. Chris, my man,
how are you?
How you doing? How's the weather? Everybody's saying it's warmer than usual out in the East Coast.
Well, I mean, it's just torture. We were just out, you know, real quick. I had to take care of something, but man, I think it's frigid. It's frigid. How's your weather?
You know what? It's
gorgeous.
Actually cooled down today, but it was hot the last couple 2-3 days. So yeah.
Terrible.
Went out to the orchards, picked some lemons and some vegetables. It was nice.
Oh, I see you had a birthday party.
Yeah, Michaela's little birthday over the weekend.
Cool.
So
awesome.
I'm glad that's over. Yeah, appreciate that.
I'm glad that's over.
Man, it's stressful, guys.
I know.
Pick up the chairs, set them up, the setup, the coordinating everything. Yeah, absolutely.
Too much cerveza, huh?
Yeah, no, you know, no beers this time. I'm not a big drinker, so when people bring beer, next time they visit me, like, man, you still have these? So, you know, I'm not a big drinker. Yeah, no. Yes, sir.
So what you guys are trying to do? What do you want to learn today?
So I love that
Q&A, right?
No, well, we'll open up Q&A, absolutely Q&A, but we want to make it where, like, hey, that way we don't have to, like, how can I say it? You know, I want to structure it to teach, you know, that, and then bring the Q&As behind that, so we kind of help engage, right? We kind of help, you know, people engage, give them an aha moments, give them different angles. And I saw your YouTube video about backlinks, right? How to, you know, do the backlinks. It kind of got a little bit complicated, but I think once you get that, as far as the API and the little settings, or if you have a simpler one, Chris, how to get the backlinks, right?
Is that, I'm sorry, is that really complicated? Really?
You know, I don't know. What's it? Says the guy that can you know, code and all that jazz, right?
Man, I broke it down. I thought it was, but I'm asking you, did you think it was complicated?
No, I'm probably the wrong guy. Well, maybe I am the right guy, right? Because I'm not that techie. So if I'm watching like one of your videos, I remember, gosh, back in the day when I first started watching, I literally took the first video and started just notes, right? This tool, got it, notes. Oh, what is, like, notes. So now it's like, okay, now I'm getting the lingo and whatnot. But yeah, that video about backlinking, because I think that's kind of like best practices, right? The content, the interlinking, the schema, and that pillar backlinking, you know, so good.
Well,
And you know, people get caught up in like which service, like, and then the way you presented it is like, whew, nice. Like, okay, I can get
yeah, I
going
was
with
trying to
this.
bang, bang, bang. Because the reason
Yes.
why I gave that was obviously I have the script, but the other piece is I see people paying their hard-earned cash, 2 pennies a link, a penny a link for, they call it an indexing service, but that's not true. It's more of a, you know, we'll fetch the page, we'll crawl the page. It should be called a crawling service. So I was like, why pay them when I could do it through Google for free? And Google's job as a spider, it's going to crawl each of the links. Now, whether it makes it into the search results is another story. So is that what you want? You guys want me to walk through the process and give you guys the script? I'll give you the script, but is that the goal? Is that what you guys want?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you need then?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know, in here, hold on a second. Yeah. So that way we can you know, get you guys engaged. I want everybody to ask questions, like, okay, because no matter where you're at, no matter what you do, there's that portion of backlinking, guys. So I just want to give you an aha moment, a different view. Like Chris said, okay, instead of paying that hard-earned money, like what are they really doing? Like I can do this for free, because once you set it up, you're golden.
Old.
You're golden, right?
And it's
And
it's 10 minutes a time, 20 minutes.
yeah, absolutely.
You know, it'll take 15 minutes. So I guess you know, I know we're tight on time. You guys don't play with the time thing, which I appreciate. So I guess let's do it. Or do you have one that you want to set up for yourself and I'll walk you through it?
Yeah, we can use my personal website. Yeah, no problem.
Or anything you want. I'm just saying, do you have an asset that you want to set it up on?
Let's see here.
Or
One
something
that I
to
can...
walk through? So that way you
yeah,
have the full step-by-step, and I'll plug in, I'll give you the script.
Okay, let's do it. So let me see here.
I mean, you guys could sell the script or whatever on the back end. I don't know, but I figure this isn't like on YouTube or something, is it?
Now, yeah.
Oh, it is
bits and pieces, but it's more gonna be in the back of the GMB Pros.
Yeah.
So this is yeah, this is a
well,
bonus.
I don't mind giving value, because usually it's Q&A, which I'm not saying that's not valuable, but it's the laziest format, Q&A. So I don't mind hitting you guys with something good this time. That's fair.
Okay, cool. All right. So what do you need from me?
Well, I mean, just open up a browser and I'll walk you through the process.
Okay.
But you got to have the key element here, though, is you need to have access to Search Console.
Okay.
Right. I see it in your eyes. It would be faster if I just show you, huh? You're thinking like, oh, snap. I mean, it's up to you. Do you want me to just do one?
I mean, do you have one that we can the back end?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I have a guy it's kind of like a little test site thing I got running.
Okay,
I can walk through that with you guys if you want.
Yeah, that'll be, I think, because it's so much different than to speak on it and that over the shoulder, right, thing. Even for, it's surprising to me, like how many people, Google Search Console, analytics, how that's so alien to people. Even for some of us that, you know, we talk about it. So I think that'll be helpful, especially for, you know, no matter what part of the journey you're at, right?
I would assume so. So yeah, let's do that. Let's go inside of here. I kind of loathe. Can I just push share and I won't have to like keep clicking other screens, right?
So if you click share and then hit the entire screen, just be mindful. So when you click share, you have that option. I think it's the very first one. It says underneath the entire screen.
Oh, I see. So what it just says screen. Can I go for that one? Just screen?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. All right.
No matter where you go, it should.
So if I click on this, do you guys see Facebook?
Yep.
Okay. And La Mama or whatever her name is. Oh, that's funny. All right. So let me think to myself here. All right. So the first order of business here, let's jump over here quick. Let me see what I got cooking. Can I move this? Chris Palmer. All right. I think I have. Let me see what I have in here. Search console. All right. Start. Let me just see what's in here. All right. This dude's fine. All right. But I'll give. There's some of the pieces that will draw down the time.
Okay.
I know I already preset for this dude. So, the first thing is you got to have access to the Search Console. All right. I'm sure everyone's familiar with Search Console. So this settings down here, we need to know how to get in here to settings, because what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Google Cloud and we're going to make a service account. When you make the account, it's completely free. Yeah, you have to put a credit card on file, but the amount of calls that we're going to make are so minuscule that it's nothing, right? So what we want to do here is inside of here, you see how, I don't know if he kicked me off of here already. Yeah, I think he did. But do you guys know how to make an owner? I'm sure, yes, right? You know how to do the owner? All right. As long as you know how to do an owner, what you're going to do is you're going to go to Google Cloud Console. All right. When you go to Google Cloud Console, you're going to make an account. When you make the account inside of here, all right, once you sign up, it's a straightforward process. There's a trillion videos on how to do it, right? What you're going to look for is you're going to come up here and you're going to type in indexing API, right? So indexing API is literally, I believe it's called the Web Search Indexing API. It's this one right here. It's a Google product. This is what you're going to be utilizing. All right. So what we want to do is we want to come inside of here and we want to enable this. All right. So you're going to go ahead and click enable. So once you enable that inside of your profile, the very next step is we're going to go up here to these buttons here, this little hamburger menu. And what we got to do is we have to set up a service account. Okay. And the service account is where we're going to get the email and give it ownership inside of Search Console. All right. So all we're doing is we're giving ownership, means I'm giving access to the API. All right. So what we want to do here is we're going to come over here, go to services and API, and we're going to come in here, and I believe it's under this one, service accounts. I am admin, service accounts. All right. So once we have service accounts, what we want to do is we want to create a service account. All right. And I'll just do this as a demo. All right. So you can name it whatever you want. Demo, create and continue. All right. Select a role, owner. All right. Next is done. All right. Now this right here. All right. See this email right here? This email right here is what you're going to give the owner. But before you leave the screen, you got to do one more thing. You need to download a JSON file. This is the key, right? So however you want to think about it. So what you'll do is you'll come over here. Once you click on that service account, you'll click these three dots. And what you're going to do is you're going to manage your keys. So when you do the key, you're going to add a key, create a new key. It's going to download a JSON file to your computer. For this example, I'll go ahead and do that. All right. So now I have the key and I have the ownership account, right? So we're going to go back to our, let me just make sure it gave me it. Downloads. Doesn't look like it did for whatever reason, probably because I didn't go through the whole kit and caboodle. Create a key, JSON, create. All right, private key saved to your computer. Perfect. So now the very next step is now we have the key. They've downloaded the JSON file to my computer, I guess downloads. Yep, there it is, right? So this is the key file. Now that we have the key file, we're going to go over to Search Console. All right, I'll walk through the process just so you have it on video for your guys. We're going to take this, we're going to copy that. We're going to come back over here to the ownership, right? And we're going to go like, here, let me see if this dude. These are just guys that I did work for. Well, you guys know how to do that, right? I'm sure you guys can do that. I know you. I believe in you. But it's just down here. You come over here to settings, and then you got to have ownership of the account. And then you're just going to come inside of here, and you're going to grant ownership right? Not restricted, not anything else, owner to that service account and use that email. Once that's done, the very next step is we're going to go over to collaboratory. All right. And then here's the most valuable piece. And I'll give it to you guys because I love you. All right. So when you come inside of here, the next thing is this. These are just tests. I tested the banana juice out of it. So it works because I was doing it on PBN. So that's how I know that they crawl every single link, because I can check server logs. I can see that they came and crawled. Now, whether they index, that's a whole nother story. And generally, I mean, especially when it's bad, like now, I mean, if you're hitting a 60%, why pay? I could get 60% using this method. So the next thing is this. We're on Collaboratory. Collaboratory is free. Yes, I have Pro, but you know, there is free. You guys only need free. Let me just come inside here and see if I could get let me just take a look at something real quick.
Guys, if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat or raise your hand and I'll get you.
Let me go grab this out of a client account. How do I stop? I don't want to show this.
Yeah, so if you move your mouse,
script.
You should have like the stop share. The menu from the Zoom should pop up.
Oh, I see. Stop share. All right, give me 1 second. Let me just go grab the script. I got you.
Yep, absolutely.
Let me just grab that because I got it. This is a law firm and they'll freaking hang me. All right.
Yeah, so any questions, guys? Now, this is definitely a rewatcher, guys. Now, I love it. Seeing like Chris's mode, he went into like YouTube voice DJ mode. So, guys, if you have not, I'll be shocked. If you haven't followed Chris on YouTube, make sure you follow him, share him some love on YouTube, share him some thumbs up, because this is the stuff like he shares on YouTube, but on here, he's actually going deeper. He's going over the shoulder, and he's about to share some scripts that with this GMB Pros only, right? So that's kind of like the benefit of being live. Also, the replay guys, but the GMB Pros here, that you can use this literally after we hang up. After we end the call, we can go and set this up, right? This is definitely a rewatcher. And if you have, guys, it's in the back end and also in the GMB Pros group that you'll be able to catch the replay.
All right. Here, let me grab this quick. Okay. All right. All right, let me rewind this real quick. How do I go back? All right. All right. All right, we're straight. Okay, come back into here, go here, click share screen. All right. So screen share. All right. So here's what you got to do. Here's the next thing. As far as the script is concerned here for you guys. So here's the script. All right. Now I want to point out a few things. All right. There's two places that you need to make sure you get things right. The very first one is I wrote your website. All right. Now you can do do equals. I know do. But see how these little quotes are here? You can run pages, but it's much easier to just call the sitemap. All right. Now this doesn't have to be a sitemap XML. This could be a sitemap HTML. And that's what I would recommend. All right. Your sitemap HTML is something that's visible. This could be a regular page, but this, if you want to do external links, you put your links on that HTML sitemap and you run the API to that page. Okay. If you want to run XML and hit that page too, that's fine. But I'll share this with you. So this is what you'll put your XML or your HTML sitemap here. And then the key, see how this says JSON key file? Key here, I'll show you what goes there. All right. So what you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to copy the script. Or can I give you the script that, is there something I can share this for you?
Yeah, just throw it in the chat within Zoom, and then I'll copy it and I'll make sure the guys get it on.
Okay. Will it give you the whole thing? Yeah, it should hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay. Your message is too long. Okay, I can do a file. Cool. So here. Key here. All right. So file, save as here. Downloads. All right. So this is going to be indexing API script. Right. We'll put it right on the desktop. Here, save, and then here, add the file. Computer, desktop, scroll down. Here you go. Here's the script. All right. So there you go, gentlemen. And then here's the next thing. Once you get that text file, you're going to copy all of the contents of it. And then you're going to come up here. Yours won't be pro, but that's okay. You're going to click on new notebook. All right. Once you click on new notebook, and the reason why we're using Collaboratory is it has all the dependencies and all the crap that we need. We don't have to be genius coders. We only need to know the script, right? And that's it. So we're going to paste that in here. The next thing that we want to do here is we need to come over here to our file folder. Okay. I'm sorry, this one right here. All right. And see how there's an upload button right here. So this is where you want to take that JSON key file, this, and you're going to open it, right? You're uploading the key file. All right. Now, the next step is on top of that key file. See how it's JSON, it just uploaded? Right click. And you want to copy the path name, copy path. Now inside of here where the script is, see where it says key file here, and in between the quotes, you're going to paste that path right here like that. See how I just pasted the path? So now I have the key. The next thing is now you want to come down here and you want to add your page. What page do you want it to be? I'm going to say we're just going to run this page, right? But that right there, now I can run the sitemap or pages. That's it. Then the next step is you click this play button. And I'm assuming because of, there's no page there, it's website.com, right? The service account's not completely set up. It's going to run an error, but generally you'll get a green. See, permission denied because I don't have access to that site. I didn't connect the Google Search Console. Once you made that service account in Search Console, you would give access. And that's the whole process with the key. That's it. You run that and you'll see consistent spikes of index pages, not only on your site, but if you're running a PBN, I have a lot of sites. If you go check the server logs, you'll see when you ran that, those sites are getting crawled. And then even if you don't want to do anything else, if you're just looking at the pages where let's say you have a page, right? You have a web page. And what I mean by creating an HTML sitemap is it's literally just a page. So here, for more information about that, here, I'll show you something. So say you got a page, like literally make a page and see how I have all these links right here in a table for this dude. If I ran this as a page, this could be the HTML sitemap. Pretend there's no content here. It's just these links. I would just run the API right to this page. If all these were sites that I controlled, if you go check the log, I guarantee you Google was at that site. 100%. Now, if it makes it, is a whole nother story. But that's how you index. This is how you index external links that are pointing to you. And if you want to run your sitemap continuously, like you could set up a cron job and run that sucker every 5 minutes. There's other little hacks to it that I'm not at the liberty to share, but you can have more than one key. So when we're doing large scale sites, huge lead gen sites, you start burning keys. You might need more than one key. So if I'm trying to index tens of thousands of pages, one key isn't going to do it. Google has a limit. So you can figure that out for yourself.
Now, Chris, we have a question. Like Google would automatically crawl our sites, right? So does this make it faster? Does this, what is
you're calling Google to the page and you're telling them that, hey, there's an update. you're calling them to the page.
Okay.
Yeah, it's faster. You're like, like when you create a new page and you're submitting to Google one by one, it takes forever. You're able to submit the whole site and get them to crawl every single page, the new ones and the old ones, all in one shot by literally clicking a play button. And then again, if you set up a cron job, you're 2 YouTube videos away from how to do that. It's so easy. You can have it do it automatically. So that way you'll just watch, that green bar that's inside, your index pages, you'll just watch that green just rise. And it's all automated. It's all free.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. Thanks, Chris. Guys, this stuff is golden. Definitely a rewatcher for sure, right? So I'm gonna get the cron jobs as possible.
Cron jobs on the site.
Did
You
that answer
can-
JL? Let's see here.
Google
Hey,
automatically
Chris-
crawl our sites. And two, even if that makes it too complicated, right? It's so easy to you're literally hit this play button right here. The script's here. If you're just running a sitemap XML, all you got to do is just hit this button right here and it'll run the script. You're just running the script. That's it. So yeah, it'll automatically crawl everything.
So this will help you too, guys. So I have a site right now with a bunch of blogs. The blogs is a bunch of sites, and I'm having this exact issue. So that's what kind of triggered, like, it's perfect timing, right? It can run that sitemap for it's a medical clinic, TRT, hair removal. We put a bunch of blogs on there. There's other issues, but this is definitely one of them as well. Where and when will we need? Hold on one second. Where and when will we'll be able to? In the GMB Pros. So if you go to William Jones Marketing, there's actually a section on there right on top on how to get into these re-records on here. This is going to work well with the local dominator in their SEO wizard apps. Yep, absolutely. Great stuff. Any question, guys? Anything in particular?
And then
Go ahead.
Well, and two, like, I'm assuming, like, it doesn't have to be. You can run pages. It could be sitemaps. It could be KML location sitemaps that you could be running, and then you could break it up. You can run your images, your KML location sitemaps for your location pages. I'm sure you guys are doing that. I hope. So you want to make those calls for sure.
So guys, you guys know what Chris is talking about, right? If you do a sitemap, what is it, XML? You'll see on there, especially if you're using the plugins, it'll do your posts, your pages, it'll have a bunch of stuff. And that's kind of the first things you want to look at, right? When you're doing a technical SEO audit, hey, do I have an updated sitemap on there, right? That you submitted, and that's what Chris is talking about. You'll see on the back end, almost every page should have it, or you're going to have issues, right? That sitemap, with domain name.com/sitemap.xml, and you'll see it on there, and you'll see the different types of posts. What is it, Chris? Post pages,
author, image, and then you could have page 2, page 3. You could do whatever you want. You can run it to anything you want. And then you can, and then after that, you can even do the ping. I tested the ping in my group. The ping will crawl to the page, but I get much better success running the script. The ping is another way, like, how they have the Google, just for more value, I guess. Here. So I'm sure you guys know about this. right? But it doesn't have to be a sitemap. You can run a page like this, right? Like they want you to think it's sitemap. Sitemap equals, that's the trick of Google, right? Google's not your friend. Not in my opinion. But see, notification received, you'll run ping. If you go check the log, they came to the page. There's no question. Even if you don't know how to check your logs, if you go check the cache date, like, inside the search results, if you go check the cache, I guarantee that last cache was the day you ran the ping to a page. You don't have to run it to a sitemap. You can do it just to a page. Just, as another little tip, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I even use what is that? The mobile friendly Google. And then there's a section in there, guys, to make sure your site is even crawlable, right? So you want to make sure your site's crawlable. And that's one of the first tests that I do. Lee, right? He teaches, take the boot off the car, put fuel in it, take the handbrake off, right? You can have this beautiful website, this beautiful car that it does no good if there's a boot on it or no gas or the handbrakes on it. So these are the kind of things you can do to check to make sure things are even able to get crawled.
Word.
Awesome,
Anything
guys.
else? Anything? I mean, that was, I got through it relatively quick. And then if there's little pieces or something, I got right just to the heart of it, the meat and potatoes.
Mhm.
But if they need a little bit more, I gave the full walkthrough. I just left out the script on YouTube. That's like the full walkthrough, like not rushing, just trying to bang it out for you.
Yeah, absolutely. You got Matthew Moses. Dang,
Cool.
just jumped in. Gotta have. Oh yeah, man. You missed over the shoulder. Cron jobs right now, but what's that? In problem, not content. What is your YouTube channel, Chris?
Chris Palmer, SEO.
Yep, can't miss it. Chris Palmer. You'll see him. You'll see him on there.
That would be awesome.
And he drops a lot of nuggets in there, guys, too. A lot of nuggets. So any more questions, guys? Questions? Again, this is definitely a rewatcher. Thanks, Backlinks. Also on topic. Cool. Gold nuggets, Chris Palmer. Yes, sir. This is actually a lot more than what he showed on the YouTube, guys. Like a good chunk of it to make this pick. If you watch that YouTube video and you watch the replay on here, you'll know exactly what I mean. So he gave he gave the engine with the key and put gas in the car.
Yes.
So
and
that's
then
kind of like
backlinks are, if we could talk about backlinks, I mean, if you have questions related to backlinks, I mean, I'd be happy to help. I love backlinks.
Chris, can you speak, like, do we want to just get any ordinary backlink, or do you look at like that topical trust flow? Is it, does that matter? Does it not matter? The unicorn, I heard the term, the unicorn metrics, as far as, the DR, the DA.
Well, I mean, I think the two metrics to look at if we, take everything else out is going to be what category is the link in, right? If we look at Majestic, SEMrush, or Ahrefs, they all use the same classification. It's the same classification that Google will utilize. So yeah, like, is it automotive? Is it European? Is it, internet telecom? These types of, which link graph is it in? So if I'm looking at top competitors, I want to figure out, well, what link graph are they in? So this way I can buy my way in. The next piece that I want to look at is, well, referring domains. For lack of better words, the white hatters are looking at, does the site have, relevant traffic? And I think that that's important, but not as important as, does it have a large amount of referring domains? And is it am I in the right link graph? I think that matters way more. And I see this at scale with so many different sites. Plus you run out of inventory. Who out there, like, if you're doing home services, who can go out there and afford these $200, $300 a link when your top competitors have 200-300 referring domains pointing at a specific page. Like who's going to do that? That's insane. So in order to outsmart them, we're looking for high referring domain counts in the right link graph. Then we're able to build less for far cheaper. And then, of course, I think it's important to internally buffer those links. You don't ever jeopardize the king, right, in the game, the homepage. And you never want to run risk on a page that's a primary service page. You can always rebuild a supporting page, but I can't rebuild my homepage and I can't rebuild my primary service pages. I can always rebuild supporting or some city page. That's why, I used to bust Williams' chops about those, in my opinion, absurd location pages, but those are premium internal buffers, because you could just create 9,000 more of them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So that's a great way to build out a commercial intent page and not run risk on primary pages.
Absolutely. We have a couple questions that came through, Chris. Best place to buy backlinks?
Well,
Are you?
what's the word? I'm a little bit biased, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm continuously investing. Like, if I get any hits, I take all that money and I go and buy domains, right? So I just bought another 200 sites. Like, we're about to start offering homepage links, header, footer, and body links, and then link inserts. So I would come see me. But other than that, if you want to pay a premium and get cracked in your head and compete with everyone else, iCopify is a good spot. But there's probably about 200 referring domains. Minimum price is $20, and they usually drop the links within 90 days. So that's where everybody else is going right now to get a good deal. But is it? I don't know, man.
Let's see. We got great stuff, Chris. Python script. What is your strategy on GMV optimization for service area businesses? Also, what about the money? What about Money Robot? Money Robot. Have you had any issues with toxic links? How can that be avoided? How many links is too much? Too fast?
All right. So velocity doesn't matter. I don't believe that velocity is going to ensue a penalty. I've never gotten a penalty that wasn't pointing out, right? Kind of like the cops don't arrest people without somebody telling. So it's the same thing for Google. Google's not going to come looking. There's too many assets out there. The only time I've ever had issues with sites is they were public and I was being super flamboyant, or I jumped up the SERP really, really fast and I got whacked. Right. And I think that it's definitely somebody pointed out and I got a manual action. So that's the only way. I wouldn't worry about velocity, especially if you're keeping to yourself, you're not public, or you're not running up the SERP really, really fast, doing something super shady to run up the ladder really quick. I wouldn't worry about velocity. Plus, you're not going to go out there and build thousands of referring domains unless they're crap. You're not going to go out there and build 1,000, DR40s, As far as Money Robot is concerned, I mean, it's a closed network. You're building subdomain links. I think Tony made it hot there for about 2 months. I always utilize them for video embeds. I ran a test utilizing the backlink profiles. I mean, how are you going to make that a deliverable for a client? It's not a deliverable. Could I use that to point to supporting pages? Yeah, they have about 200 Web 2 assets. All the other stuff like the social profiles and all that stuff is crap. But inside of there, they have about 200, 250 Web 2s that I make a subdomain on. And they do pretty good. I have a guy, ASAP Cash Offer. He's a pain in my butt right now in the home market. And I look at his backlink profile and he is flooded with these things. So they're definitely pushing power. But would I make that a deliverable and push it to a client? No way. I wouldn't run the risk. Kind of like I don't want to point out services. What was the other question? So velocity, money robot. What else? What else you got?
Toxic links, how to avoid them.
Well, I think that's to the webmaster. Like, if I would never blindly go in and take SEMrush's recommendation to say that, oh, that's a bad link. Like, if you got a link from Papa John's, right? Would you consider that a toxic link? SEMrush seems to think so, right? Amazon. If you got a link on Amazon's homepage, would you consider that a bad link? Freaking SEMrush thinks so. So I think I would use common sense and discretion when looking at that type of stuff.
Okay. Now, you want to read Goffy's question?
Coffee. He's got a husky one. If I
Mhm.
buy some backlinks for a topical cluster, am I better off buying the links to the top page in the cluster or the supporting page? Okay. So that little piece there, if I have a top level page and then I have supporting, right? Or if I have a top level state page and then I have my city pages, that's what we're talking about, a cluster or building depth of concept, right? If I know where the link flow is coming from and I can trust that the equity I'm pointing to the top level page, then yeah, point it in there. No problem. Now, if I'm just buying randomly from public markets, I will want to point to the supporting pages, because that way, if something, if God forbid a penalty were to ensue or I get an algorithmic penalty, I can have the ability to clean up that mess. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. But power trickles down. So you always want to build to the top level to power what's underneath. All right. Then the supporting pages in some cases have many more searches. The supporting pages in some cases have many more searches month than the top page. Yeah, but we're building structure. Google can't read. I'm building depth of concept. I need to have the page in place just to establish authority, right? So you're going to build supporting pages that don't make any sense, but I need to have that depth of concept. I want to become the authority, and we become the authority with internal linking, age, and of course, depth of concept. All right. So hopefully that helps you out, my friend. And then GMB optimization for service area business. Well, that's wildly different. But I think if Google's rewarding service area businesses, you'll have a much better time than if they're not. You know, like the probability of me getting some dude to run up the ladder when Google's rewarding businesses that are showing an address, yeah, it could happen, right? And it might take a lot of work. But if everybody there, if I'm in the locksmith space, it's all service area businesses. Nobody's showing an address. I can shoot right up there if I'm following general principles and optimization. The profile has enough age, I'm running enough traffic and clicks, and I have reviews that I can consistently produce. It's that simple.
Yeah, don't get caught up so much on it's a service area business. Do the same thing. You know,
right.
Still go in there, still create the, right-hand, left-hand website, GMB, right? Still do the same things. The only thing is you're not showing it. So you are going to have a trouble, but I still rank service area business, and my recipe formula doesn't change. Like, okay, do this for service area or do this for, no. Now, Chris is right. You can run up the ladder on people if they show the address. It's easier, but don't get caught up like, oh, it's a service area business. Do the same thing.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, you can still find the center point. You can still find where Google thinks, because remember, they put it in an address. All you're doing is hit it, right?
And two, if there's multiple ways to swing a dead cat, right? If I can't run up the ladder on the primary, generally, if I can switch the optimization within the products and or the services or in the title of the business, I might not be able to rank for Locksmith Miami, but I might be able to rank for 24-hour emergency Locksmith Miami, So I would always look and see in the top three in the 3-pack, is only service area businesses there or only businesses that are showing an address. If there's diversity there, I'll take the client, you know? So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense to you guys.
Yep.
Would you
Now, Chris,
yes.
do you have like we hear of tier 1, tier 2, right? Kind of for buffers, right? Building tier 1, tier 2. Like, is there a spot where we can go like, hey, these are your web 2.0s, these are tier 1s, these are your Google business properties, these are tier 2, and these are citations or whatever, these are tier 3s. Is there a spot for that, or do you have a go-to for that?
We're talking about for purchasing for a service.
Yeah, or because the question is, we hear about there's tier 1s, tier 2s, tier 3s. What kind of sites are? Yeah,
got it. All right, so tier 1s are, you know, I don't know the analogy, but like it's like, well, which ones would I show my, you know, I don't know, your wife, right? That's your tier 1, right? The tier 2 is stuff that you talk about with your boys, right? And then that tier 3, that's like we just keep that to ourselves. So tier 1 is your best links, your cleanest links, your top level guest posts, your best premium press releases, your upfront and any local network press release is probably a tier 1. Your citations, your directories, your web 2s that you control, not the ones you go on Fiverr and you build and they just add a link to a site that has 9,000 other businesses. It's one that you control. These would be tier 1 assets. Tier 2, would be your link inserts or your lower cost guest posts, right? That would be your tier 2. When we start talking about tier 3, that's when we start using, automation tools, really cheap, inexpensive link inserts, the shadiest variety, your RUs, that type of thing. Usually automation and or inserts, but it's also in a degree of cost, right? My best flush stuff is here, then my next least expensive, and then the cheapest stuff. You can almost skip this because what happens when you get to tier 3 is the diversity of topical relevance gets so diverse that sometimes I might start screwing up stuff up at the top level. I don't want to change what this link graph is up here. And if I start building in tens of thousands of links that are, telecom and communications, and this is supposed to be business industrial, we might have a problem. So usually it's tier 1, tier 2, and you're going to be very well off, in my opinion.
Medium.com, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, Chris?
It's a web 2. It's been devalued
exactly.
over time. It's a no follow. It could be a tier 1. Why not?
So those are what they fall into, exactly what Chris says, web 2.0s. Anytime you go out and buy a web 2.0, Medium's going to be in there. I think even in Chris's packages, you include the medium.com in there.
Yeah, that's
so. And then, guys, that's a tough question because for Chris, it's tier 1, and somebody might use it at tier 2, and it works, right? It's a matter of how you implement it. Just put it together and see what you get out of it. I think the key, what Chris said, no matter how you combo them, try to keep that same link graph. So the content, the anchor text, like how that flow goes, keep it the same subject, same, variation, entity, right? Keep it the same. Don't let it get watered down by anything else. That's why that last one, it could just get watered down, but you're going to slam it with links and whatnot.
That's it. And there's other ways to, slam sites. You can, subdomains work great. Internal buffers work great. You can get that volume you're looking for. And 90% of business owners that I talk to that are thinking about these types of strategies, like a plumber in, some weird town in Idaho, like you probably don't need to be doing advanced tiered link building. You know what I mean? So take a look at the competitors. They probably only have 50 to 100 referring domains at most, in most cases. They probably don't even know what they're doing. you know? So take a look. You don't need to, I know it's fun, you know, you always want to get in there and have a lot of fun, but you know, why do more work or spend more money or spend more time unless you have to?
Yeah. So guys, last question, Harry, Chris, you want to get that one?
Harry, sure. So, hey, Chris, what is the process for handling video verification submission? Oh man, I just had some fun with that. I have a fun video I just did. What is the process for handling video verification submissions that remain in processing status for a week, and then they are changed to listing needs to be verified? Yeah, that means it didn't kick through. It didn't, it didn't go through. And it sounds to me like, did you do more than one?
Yeah.
Like at the same location though?
Yeah, same location. That's a real business. Since it was stuck in on processing, I created another profile, did the same thing again. And the same thing happened to other profile. After sitting there for 3 weeks, now they both need to verify again.
Yeah. And then when you went in there and made the new profiles, you went to the map and you chose a different longitude and latitude and submitted again. Is that how you did it?
No, I didn't change it. I left it the same way because, Chris, this listing was around for almost 10 years. It was, if you remember, was a 7-pack before, not even 3-pack. It was on a 7-pack before, and then Google suspended that listing after trying several times to reinstate it. We couldn't do it. So I decided, I had a lot of citations, backlinks, plus the press releases on this. All over on Google, you type the name and phone number, it shows everywhere. And that's why I decided to go ahead and create another new profile.
And you went in there, went for it. Man, what's the category?
Limo service.
It's not too crazy. Not the easiest. I mean, it's only 2. I mean, but you've had trouble with this business consistently?
Well, no, I have almost 60, 70 profiles on the same industry.
Same name? Different phone numbers?
Not the same name, no.
So different name, different phone numbers?
Yes.
Of course. And then you're logging in and creating and doing the verification under different accounts?
Yes, of course.
Different IPs?
Different IPs.
Different session? And then have you tried going into a different position on the map to change longe and lat? It will be the same address.
I never did it.
Just try 3 or 4 times. Put 3 or 4 out there. Get them all processing. It's the same video.
Yeah.
Dude, I just did a very BS video, like completely BS. You know, the gentleman that was selling them in Dallas, though, he said they're having trouble right now. So I don't know if there's something going on, but I submitted a completely BS video for a guy in Romania. He's a cardiovascular heart doctor, right? I'm in the United States. I literally took a picture of this and said, okay, this is the machine. I said, I'm going to go outside. I took the phone and I was like this with the phone. I went to Google Maps and zoomed in on the signage and it went through.
How about locations? Did you change the location settings on your phone?
Well, but you said you had that covered, right?
No. When you were saying
are you using Cydia
for
for
Romania,
that?
You said for Romania, so you are in United States. At least you need to change your location on the phone. Show Google that you're in Romania, not in US.
Yeah, and then, but you said you had that covered. You're using Cydia, right?
Yeah. I was right at the location. It's a legit business. It's not like a make-up business.
Yeah, so man, I would just try again. But the gentleman that I was running through them like water, like he had literally a whole list of them. You probably know him. He was selling them in Dallas primarily, like in Texas. And like I went back to him and said, okay, hey, I got a guy. And he's like, nah, we're done. We're done there for now. So have you had other ones going through yet?
No, everything others are fine.
Yeah, they're running through. Yeah.
So they got continuously suspended several times. I reinstate them. Now, as soon as I put the Google ads on them, they stop suspensions.
and I don't know if that could be another talk for another day, but when you're going in there and creating the pin, are you creating the ad account first and then you're going in for the verify?
No. Maybe should I create the ad account first and then go to verify?
Well, they'll give you $200 on
No,
an unverified.
Listen, I have some listing, only I put the stupid keywords on it. Only $5 a day. They even don't charge my credit card. Still, I have an ad there. It doesn't matter. I have $1 a day or two. They don't charge me at all, and they don't suspend it.
They're so nice.
I know.
That's an interesting. I mean, I haven't gone back and tried that in a while, but that was the way for a very long time. Get that free ad account, especially in that email, and then go in there and do the bulk. But that's another talk for another day.
Yeah.
I think.
Guys, I appreciate everyone. I appreciate everybody's support. If you caught Harry's gold tip there for GMB, safeguarding, I hope you picked that up. This is definitely a good rewatcher, guys. I hope you guys found some value. We'll get these up and running as quick as possible. We're over the 60 minutes. Again, much love, much success, and I'll catch you on the next one.